So this is really the heart of my story. It's about this lost boy, Charles Dickens, and that he made so much beauty out of so much pain that it still resonates with us, in particular in Christmas Carol, in this very, very profound way. Do you like Christmas Carol?
Yes, it is fantastic. It is. It's one of his greater stories. And it's the same with Oliver Twist. That's another one that I really like. That is one of his. Is definitely one of his own. And it's one that everybody knows, and it's one that's played every year, and everybody gets to see. So it's quite enjoyable.
I remember I read A Christmas Carol in one afternoon, and I just couldn't put it down, you know. And it's not a very long book, but still. And just getting to the end, where it says that Scrooge, it's an indirect quote. I mean, I don't know, but he kept Christmas in his heart, but he kept it all year long. And just getting to the end, and Tiny Tim says, "God bless us, everyone," and just crying. I cry every year. I read it every year, and every year at the end I'm just weeping.
Do you like Christmas Carol?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Really, sort of more as a kid.
Yeah.
And then, but now we have like comedy artists do mimics of it. And they're good. They're good fun.
Why do you think it is that people love Charles Dickens so much?
I think because it's English to a T, but a good story. There's always a message in there. And good stories stand the test of time. I mean, look how old they are. Everyone still covers them. There's remakes after remakes. And it's still popular.
Well, the way I came to Dickens was at the age of 11, when I used to steal my sister's books. I was rather fascinated by them as a child, and particularly as I was told not to touch my sister's books and so forth. So, of course, I did take one, which was Oliver Twist, which was the first Dickens I ever read, and I was absolutely gripped and fascinated and horrified too. But I didn't find it funny at all. I mean, I found it terrifying. Fagin and Sykes, of course. Identifying myself with Oliver very strongly. And one of the things that impressed me most were the illustrations. I can't remember who they were by now. They were not the original illustrations, and they were kind of sepia, glossy, full-plate illustrations. By not a very famous artist, I think, but they fascinated me, and I used to pore.
What do you think makes Christmas Carol special? I know all his work is special, but what do you think it is about that one that everybody loves?
Because it's specific to a time of year, I guess. Yeah, it's because it's related to Christmas. It's a warm time of year. Everybody loves it. It's family related. It's all about family. It's about someone. It's about looking at how one person can change in a matter of minutes. And it's really humanised. I would say it's definitely about the human world, like how humans interact with one another around a specific time of year.
I mean, that's the inspiration for doing the London walks I did. I mean, it's purely the Carol and my experience of the Carol, because, you know, these are the reasons I found these dark streets, because I was trying to re-enter. I mean, it's almost like, well, in life you have experiences, don't you, that are very special, precious ones, and you have a choice in life. You either keep moving on to, I need another one, or I need another different one, or I need another one over here. Or sometimes you might just try and re-enter that one that you had. And it's very difficult not to want to re-enter the Carol.
Lindsay, how do you feel about Charles Dickens?
Good storytelling.
Yeah.
Very good storytelling. Oliver Twist, I like.
Why do you like Oliver Twist?
I don't know, I just remember as a kid it was a story I enjoyed.
Yeah.
We read them all at school, so it's kind of, you get to know it whether you want to or not. A bit like Shakespeare, you know, which ways.
Exactly.
Do it for our GCSEs or exams.
Yeah.
Pretty much fell in love with Dickens straight away. I started reading Dickens in my own time rather than being told to read him from school. And at your own pace, at your own leisure, I began to sort of fall in love with the way he uses words, the characters, the way he sets the scene. My favourite thing I think about Dickens, apart from his very interesting and complex personal life, and the time he lived, of course, was is his descriptive nature. You know, how he opens books, Hard Times, you know, the beginning, it just puts you right there and you're in Coketown, and it's just amazing. So over the years I read more and more, and I think I was still perhaps not really 100% sure that I was sort of a big Dickens fan still. I was still sort of like reading him here and there. And then I think after taking a break and revisiting some of his work, that was when it really struck me how much I love Dickens. And being at a different place and time in my life made me all the more appreciate it and see it from a different angle. So yeah, now I'm completely obsessed with Dickens. I've worked at the Charles Dickens Museum for about 11 and a half, it's either 11 and a half or 12 and a half years, I'm now losing count. So a very long time, and it's not just a job at all, I can't leave, it's really strange, but I think he's definitely got a hold of me. And
I just remember feeling so close to Charles Dickens, just like immediately, feeling like, I think that if this man were alive today, I'd want him to be my grandfather, or something like that. Just really feeling like I found a friend in Dickens and in Oliver.
Do you have a favorite character in Christmas Carol?
In Christmas Carol, I'd definitely say actually Scrooge is probably my favourite character, purely for the fact that it's about how one man looks at himself in different times and how he can change himself. It's all about character building, definitely, and it means that nobody is black and white. They can change and be who they want to be, basically. That's so cool.
You know, part of it I think is that I think sometimes we become a bit like Scrooge ourselves, rushed and crabby, you know. I think we all need the awakening that he gets. Sometimes we forget, you know, to observe and see the people around us. We forget that people are all around us everywhere hurting and in trouble and struggling. And, you know, Christmas is a time whenever we become more aware of that. And I think that, you know, a lot of people step up and put their best foot forward and they're generous. And, you know, just really open up their eyes, you know, to look around. I think that a Christmas Carol helps that. I think that it's a huge reminder, and I think that, you know, like Tiny Tim, we look around and we can say, you know, God bless you, and help people around Christmas time. But Scrooge, you know, he kept Christmas all year long. And so, I just think that at least I maybe identify with that awakening that Scrooge gets. You know, whenever I read the book, it's like, that's me. And, you know, I've been this person, but, you know, time and time again, you can be redeemed from that.
I think the theme that always comes back is just the theme of common humanity, and that idea that Dickens wrote about people from the poorest echelons of society to the richest, and he had friends from the poorest to the richest backgrounds, and I think that really comes through, and just especially with Christmas Carol, that idea of sort of just being a bit more grateful for life and not taking things for granted, and just being a bit more loving and having your heart open is something that is day to day very easily forgotten. So it's just so nice to be reminded, and that's why I think people connect so well to Christmas Carol in particular, because it's just the story.